welcome back to my channel. I have a special guest here. Oh, he's not happy. Say hello. My cat's name is Donut and he's wearing a donut bow, so he's basically the best cat ever. Anyway, welcome back to my channel, guys. If you are new here, my name is Lexi. I'm an online personal trainer and spiritual mentor, and I am pregnant. If you have not seen my pregnancy announcement video, then I'm gonna link it right up here because you need to go watch that video. I've watched it probably 30 times now, mostly because I was like editing it so much, but also because I just love it so much. I love seeing Craig's reaction and the feedback that you guys have given me on not just that video, but just like the fact that I'm pregnant in general is so sweet and it's so encouraging to me. And honestly, this baby is loved so much already, and I couldn't ask for anything else. And so yeah, thank you for all your prayers, thank you for all your support and your encouragement in that. Today's video, I'm going to be talking about how I knew I was pregnant before my BFP, which I guess in like the pregnancy community, BFP means big fat positive. So I didn't know that was a thing, but I watched a video from Nikki Philippi, who is also pregnant. She's a week later than me, like she's 12 weeks right now and I'm 11 weeks, maybe 13 weeks, I don't know. But we're kind of pregnant at the same time, and that's really cool. And so I watched one of her videos that she did when she was telling like about how she knew she was pregnant before her BFP, and I was like, I'm gonna make a video about that. So in my announcement video, I kind of said like I didn't know that I was pregnant. Like I literally 100%, all honest to God, took that pregnancy test expecting it to say no, mostly because I just straight up thought I couldn't be pregnant. But obviously I took that pregnancy test for a reason. I mean, kind of because it was Father's Day, and I was like, this would be a really cool day to tell Craig, and it just so happened that I was on that day. But after I found out that I was pregnant, I kind of went back and looked at some of the symptoms that I was having that kind of led me to like even want to take a test, other than just the fact that it was Father's Day. So backstory, I haven't had a period in 8 years, okay? Well, like as of the December of 2017, before that I hadn't had a period in 8 years. And then I got my period in December of 2017, and I had like 2 periods in 2018, and then 2019 has been like kind of regular, but like I haven't been able to track it at all because it's been so like, the cycle length has been so weird. That's important to know because I had my last period May 6th was the first day of my last period, and it was like a 2-day period. It was like super short. Then Craig and I went to vacation in the Dominican Republic, and just for kicks and giggles, I brought a pregnancy test there to, like, because I was like, if I tell him I'm pregnant in the DR, that would be so cool. Took a pregnancy test, it was a hard no. Like, it was like, as soon as the pee hit the stick, there was nothing. And so I was like, okay, I guess I'm not pregnant. I drank a little bit. I mean, I had like 2 drinks the entire time that I was there. I went scuba diving, which was really scary. Like after I found out I was pregnant, I was like, oh my gosh, I did that. But it was fine because basically, I guess technically I wasn't pregnant yet. I don't understand that, but that's just apparently what's happened. Like I wasn't actually pregnant then, even though that was a week after like the conception date, I guess. So I don't know, how people figure out the pregnancy stuff is like beside me. I don't understand. I just know that I'm pregnant. I know that I'm 11 weeks and 4 days right now. So that's all that I need to know. That being said, there are a few things that I noticed before I got that positive test, now that I'm looking back, that I was like, okay, that's definitely a sign of pregnancy that I just kind of wrote off as not being pregnancy symptoms, because if you guys know my history at all, my body is so freaking jacked up that anything that goes like even a little bit awry or like feels weird, or I have a pain somewhere, I don't think anything about it because I have chronic pain all the time in different places in my body, or like random things happen to my body all the time. So I was just like, all right, well, I guess that's just, you know, another thing that's happening. And I never really chalked it up to being pregnancy because I just thought everything that happened in my body was like my normal. Do you know what I mean? So, but now, like I said, looking back, I'm like, okay, that makes sense. So, a few things that I noticed was, well, first of all, my boobs. And I said that in my announcement video, that I'm not even kidding you. Pregnancy boob pain is 100 times different than just a period boob pain, because it's like, it was almost like the outside of my boobs hurt, like on this side, and normally when it's like period pain, it's like right on my boobs that hurts. I'm sorry, this is a little bit TMI of video, but we're getting real here. And that was the very first thing that I noticed. Also, I had that boob pain like a week after I got my period, and then a week or 2 weeks after I got my period it started, and then it lasted for like 3 weeks straight. And I was like, okay, that doesn't make sense, because if I was just ovulating, then I don't think it would be that bad, and I don't think it would last that long. Like 3 weeks is a very long time for my boobs to be hurting that significantly and just be like that tender. So that was one of the reasons why I took that test, and I even said that in the video. That's like the only symptom that I was like, okay, this could be a thing, because everybody was like, it's been 3 weeks since your boobs are hurting, like you need to take a test. And I was like, I am not pregnant, but she was wrong. The next symptom that I, again, didn't really like think anything of was TMI. It's TMI. If you have kids, if you're a guy, you don't want to watch this video. I had a yeast infection. So I guess apparently those are common when you first conceive or you're first like getting pregnant, I guess. I didn't know that. I've only had like one other yeast infection in my life. I've had UTIs and bladder infections or whatever, but only one other yeast infection, and she was strong. It was bad, like it was bad. And it also lasted a long time, and I couldn't figure out why. Like, it just was so painful. And but I didn't think that was a pregnancy symptom, because my gut like healing protocol, one of the things that we were doing was like flushing my system with good bacteria, and my dietitian kept telling me over and over again, he's like, if you see signs of yeast infection, or if you get a yeast infection, don't be alarmed. It's just like your body's way of like getting rid of all of this bacteria that it has. So again, I was like, okay, not a pregnancy symptom. It's just my body like doing the crazy normal things that it does. This is a really interesting one that I'm not sure if you've had this pregnancy symptom before you found out, or even like after you found out, then comment below and let me know, because I've only heard of like a couple other people like that this has happened to. I had shortness of breath, almost like, I think it was almost like I always had a yawn. You know, like when you can't get your yawn finished, and it was like, it's like just in your throat. I don't know, that's what it kept feeling like. In my chest was really heavy, and it just felt like I could never get a big breath in. And apparently that's because your body's using more oxygen, or requires more oxygen because of the hormone progesterone. I don't know. I looked it up, and that's what the internet told me. Not sure if that's correct, but that's definitely something that I noticed that I just chalked up to being like, you know, another gut health thing or something that was wrong with my body. Okay, another one, and this is probably another huge one besides just my boobs hurting, was like debilitating exhaustion. I'm still in my first trimester right now. Like I said, I'm 11 weeks and 4 days, but this, y'all, they don't kid you when they say that pregnancy exhaustion is a whole new type of exhaustion, because, well, your body's literally creating a human being from scratch, and that's a lot of energy that your body needs to produce and to use. But the debilitating exhaustion that I experienced from the like a week after conception until I found out was silly. Like, every morning I go and I sit in this chair over here and I do my morning routine and I spend time with God. I couldn't do that for at least 4 weeks, because I was like pregnant 4 weeks before you know, whatever. I would wake up in the morning and feel like I had not slept, even if I had slept like a rock. And I was like kind of concerned about it, even though I just thought it was like thyroid stuff, thought maybe I'm taking like thyroid medication and adrenal support and stuff. And so I just was like, I guess I need to like be more diligent about taking that. Not really sure, but I would legit fall asleep in the middle of reading my Bible or doing my journaling or something, like not even be able to control what was happening. I would just like be writing and then just be like, bye. I mean, it was really bad. And I even told Craig, my husband, about it. I was like, babe, I don't know what's going on, but I have fallen asleep every single morning trying to do my morning routine, and it made my time with God suffer a little bit, honestly, because I just couldn't focus. I couldn't do it, and it didn't stop just in the morning. Like, it was all day long. So that's definitely a huge one that I noticed. The last thing that I noticed, I guess, how I knew I was pregnant before my BFP would be that I don't have anything diagnosed for sure, but I have IBS-like symptoms. So I guess I'm just gonna chalk it up to saying my IBS symptoms got like 12 times worse. It was almost like every single thing that I would eat, my body would just reject. And I think that most of that was just like the combination and clash of like all of these pregnancy hormones with all of this stuff that we were trying to do to my body and my body trying to heal, and just all of these things that was just like way too much. And but I can be honest with you and say that I like thought I was dying a couple times, because I was like, I can't eat food. I can't. Like, I am so sick right now. I'm so like in so much pain every time I eat. Just doesn't make sense. And that happened right after we got back from the DR. Kind of while we were in the DR, but like started to get even worse when we got back. So yeah, another thing that I just thought about that I don't have, I'm not really sure why this keeps changing lighting. Another thing that I thought about just now, while we were in the DR, again, this is definitely a TMI video, and I'm not gonna go into detail about this at all, but let's just say that it wasn't just because we were in the DR, know that for a fact, but libido, libido was silly, like, was up there, probably the highest that my libido has ever been in my entire marriage. So that was really cool because we were in the DR, but it was definitely something that I noticed, and even Craig was like, what is going on? Like, this is not you, this is weird. I mean, obviously he didn't mind, but yeah, it was just very noticeable, like a huge change, and it kind of like went down when we got back home, mostly just because I was so exhausted and just like felt so sick. And like, if you ever have like gastrointestinal pain and stuff like that, that's not on your mind. Like, you're just like, no, I feel nasty, I feel disgusting, I can't, just no. So, but while we were in the DR, which I guess would have been like, I would have been 2 weeks pregnant after like the conception date. Again, I don't know, but I was very much like early, and my libido was very high. And I've heard a lot of women say that right when they're first like conceiving, or you know, in their first couple of weeks of pregnancy, that it's really, really high, and then it kind of like normals out, and then throughout your pregnancy is like up, down, up, down, up, down, which I kind of expect that for me. So yeah, I don't know, guys. It's still a huge shock for me, but also like literally the best thing that is probably ever gonna happen to me and Craig, and I'm really excited. Tomorrow, which is Friday, we are going to my first, I guess, official OB appointment. I went and got my confirmation at 8 weeks, but I have to go, like, I couldn't get into my OB until tomorrow, which is a long time. But we're getting an ultrasound. I've already seen the baby, but we're getting an ultrasound and just getting to meet my OB for the first time, which I'm really excited about because I am planning on doing a natural birth, and I will make videos in the future about how I'm prepping and planning for natural birth, why I'm choosing that, and just like all the, you know, reasons behind that. And if you guys have any questions about natural birth or like any questions related to how I am going to approach it, then comment it below. I have a lot to learn about natural birth, natural pregnancy. Like, I just have so much to learn, and I feel like I don't have a lot of time because 6 weeks have already gone by since I found out, and that's fast. So, but yeah, we're so over the moon, still also trying to figure out our feelings towards it. I mean, your life is literally changing forever. So it's a lot to take in, it's a lot to digest and to handle, but it's also like God's got this, and he wouldn't have given us this blessing if he didn't have a plan and if he didn't have our hands through this entire thing. So again, thank you guys so much for being on this journey. Thank you for just the love and the support that you've given me. I hope that my pregnancy journey is just like encouraging to you, especially just the way that God is being faithful and will continue to be faithful through it all, no matter what happens, no matter what it looks like. I just believe that God is right here with us, and he's going to continue to show up. And I just also hope that like maybe it's entertaining. I always imagined myself being that like person on YouTube who, you know, documents the entire pregnancy and does a birth vlog and all that stuff, and I really hope that happens, and I hope that you guys enjoy this journey. So thank you so much for being here. Remember to love God, love yourself, and love people, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!